Welcome back to the SMA online build competition. Okay, where I'm up to with the Gamma Nora model is still procrastinating. I started building, so I've basically built up the cockpit, painted the cockpit, put in the back section with the turbo fans, undercarriage, and glued the fuselage basically half together. Now, one thing I've done here is, I hope that the camera will pick this up for you, is I've gone away from the decal for the control panel. Instead, I've painted that a silver with a clear green overcoat, so as to give that bit of computer monitor look. Now, I've hit a bit of a snag with this fuselage. As you can see, I've got putty all on one side now. There's four parts to the fuselage. There's a top part here, there's a bottom part, and two parts to the nose. Now, the nose joins on just along here to the fuselage. So this part here, the bottom part of the fuselage, is very small compared to the rest of the fuselage. So I've hit a problem. One I found last night when I glued the bottom part of the nose together was there's a gap in here between the undercarriage forward wall and the front of the nose. There's a gap there, so I just filled it up with a plastic card cut to size. But the problem I found is there's four raised detail here. And that's right across the seam lines there, and on the other side as well. And what I've found that is I have to obliterate those in order to properly get rid of the seam lines, and also to get rid of, on the other side it's very bad, there's a big step between the upper and lower fuselages because of the way this bottom part is made. So the bridge I've had to cross is, as soon as you modify the kit by removing detail and adding detail, like with a plastic card or something like that, you become a modified model. My intention was that after SMA's competition, I'll put this into a local competition up here in Australia. So straight away I've got to put this into the modified category as soon as I modify that. So I'm going to do that. So there's four detail here which is going to be erased off, and the other side is going to be erased as well. The fuselage is going to be fixed up, and the contours fixed up as well. And basically, yeah, modified. So that means I have to modify everything else. So I'm going to put a few things in the cockpit here to busy it up a bit. Put some extra wiring in the front wheel well and the rear wheel wells. Now, the cockpit, she's all painted up. There's two greys in there. I've used Gunze 57 and Gunze 305. 305 for the cockpit, 57 for the back of the cockpit. I actually painted up the rear wheel well, which is also Gunze 57, but I found pin marks all through here and it was just nasty. So I've actually sanded all them back, hit with primer again on both sides. You probably can't see it too well, there's some pin marks still here where I've sanded away, and I'm going to hit them with 57 again. I've already done the forward fuselage, but I still need to do this front part here where the lower part of the forward bulkhead would be, so I'm going to busy them up with some wire and so forth. The turbo fan cover, found a lot of pin marks in there as well, nasty stuff as well, so I've re-primed it and going to have to redo them again. So a bit of work now to detail up these landing gear areas, and the cockpit's going to receive a few extra pieces of gadgetry. Okay, the engines went together okay, except for it's a bit late now, but the fan, there's a piece inside for the fan that sits along this joint mark here, and it was probably 1 or 2 mil lower than the bottom part here. So if you saw through it, you could have seen daylight through the bottom of it. So I've actually put a shim in there and filled that up. So that's basically painted up with Gunze 57 and Humbrol 11 is what I used down there, silver, to do the turbo fan, but I mixed a bit of black with that just to give it a bit of depth. Okay, so I've puttied that up. There's a few bad putty lines there. Oh, sorry, join lines there. But the good thing about it is when this thing gets put together, okay, the join lines aren't going to be seen, so I don't know why I did that side. And this side here, there's a piece that sits right above here, over this area. So realistically, this part here is the only part you're going to see on the finished model. So I've gone a bit overboard there with the putty. So both sides are done. Fuselage, and there's the rear part of the engines of the legs as well. So there's a part here fixed up, another part there, and that part. So these wheel wells will actually go into there like that to create a wheel well there. Once that's all done, once I've detailed that up and painted it up again, I'll put these legs together and glue the legs together. This is so far a good kit. It's basically a modular kit. I'm thinking about leaving everything off until late in the build to put it back together again. So like after the deckling is to put it together, but doing some dry fits already. Okay, dry fits are bad because you don't have any real glue to hold everything together, but one of the things I did see is there's a massive step or gap here in the joins. Now if I leave this till later on, I won't be able to correct it, so I may have to modify that idea a bit. So yeah, that's where we're at present for that build. Everything else appears to be on target. Oh, there we go. One thing I did do is I raced ahead and some small bits I painted up with the Gunze 57 and threw a wash of enamel. Okay, the Gunze paint is acrylic, so enamel wash over top of it and rub back just to give it a bit of depth there. So the wheel well colours are all done. And the cockpit's done except for the detailing and that rear section. So yeah. So so now I've got to go ahead with that decision to detail the wheel well and put everything together. So okay,